GAN's CORTROL training series. In this video, we will provide a configuration overview of the CORTROL recording server, part of the GAN's CORTROL global platform solution. Please reference the prior videos from the CORTROL training series: CORTROL 102.1 Installation Packages, CORTROL 102.2 Installation and Initialization. If you have not already done so, please download and install the CORTROL recording server installation package. The first question to ask is, what role will be assigned to the recording server? The assignable roles are: Recorder, the primary recording destination; Archive Replicator, replicate primary recorded data; Failover, offers one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many redundancy; Mirror redundancy for global licensing server. Double-click on the Management Console icon found in the top left corner of the desktop. Enter the username and password created during the initial CORTROL Global installation. Select OK to continue. The Management Console is used to add a recording server to a global deployment. The Management Console should log into the global server, not into the recording server. Direct access of a recording server only offers health and audit, not configuration functions. Use the Server Discovery tool to add new recording servers with unassigned roles. Recording servers must be on the same network as the global licensing server. To run the Discovery tool, select Configuration, and then select Servers. From the top row of icons, select the plus New Server option. Select Find Server from the drop-down menu. Discovered recording servers with no assigned role are shown in the Found Servers area. A discovered server or servers may be assigned the role of either recorder or failover. CORTROL Global failover design support options include: one dedicated recorder and one dedicated failover, one dedicated recorder and many dedicated failover, many recorders and one dedicated failover, many recorders and many dedicated failover. Select a server and assign a title relevant to its intent. For a recording server, leave Failover node unchecked. For a failover server, select the failover node to check it. A failover cluster is a set of servers that work together to provide high availability. If one server goes down, another in the cluster can assume its workload. This is achieved with minimum to no downtime through a process referred to as failover. Assign a server to a cluster by selecting Failover Cluster Change. Assign a server to an existing failover cluster, or create a new cluster by selecting plus New Failover Cluster. Enter a cluster name that reflects its intent. Select OK to save the new cluster. Select Apply to assign the server to the new cluster. Select Add Selected Servers to add the server to Global. It is possible to predefine settings for a planned recording server that is not yet online. Some settings, like storage properties, may not be accessible. Non-accessible properties may be configured later upon server availability. To add a recording server, select the plus New Server option. Title the server per its intent, example, TSD Recorder. To assign the role of recorder, leave the failover node unchecked. Select Connections to continue. Connections properties were discussed in some detail prior. Please reference video 103.2 CORTROL Global Networks. To save, the connections properties must be completed. Select OK to continue. To add a failover server, select the plus New Server option. Title the server per its intent, example, TSD Failover. To assign the role of failover, checkmark the failover node. Select Connections to continue. Connections properties were discussed in some detail prior. Please reference video 103.2 CORTROL Global Networks. To save, the connections properties must be completed. Select OK to continue. To add a mirror server, select the plus New Server dropdown. Select the New Mirror Server option from the menu. Title the server per its intent. Example, TSD Mirror. The role of mirror is checkmarked by default. Select Connections to continue. Connections properties were discussed in some detail prior. Please reference video 103.2 CORTROL Global Networks. To save, the connections properties must be completed. Select OK to continue. Create servers with only details and connections configured. Once online, additional server configuration is possible. Here is a quick overview of the server membership option. Membership servers may be grouped logically to make permissions management easier. Groups can overlap, meaning that a single server can belong to multiple groups at once. Groups can be nested, where one group can contain one or more other groups. Here is a quick overview of the Server Permissions option. Permissions. Permissions management is flexible and allows each individual user permission to be enabled separately. Select a user or user group and set the access permissions to the server functions. Here is a quick overview of the Server Failover option. Failover cluster assigns failover server to a cluster. Current failover server indicates the active failover server. Failover timeout, lapse of time from recorder failure to failover activation. Central server connection timeout, the wait time for the central server connection upon startup. Auto recovery sets the failover server to automatically idle upon recorder recovery. Recovery timeout delays the recorder reclaiming function from the failover server. Here is a quick overview of the Server Watchdog option. Watchdog runs as a Windows service, protects the software from certain types of failures by automatically attempting to restart the server, based on the software and system overall health. Here is a quick overview of the Server Storage option. Storage includes the following storage properties: path, set storage directories; quota, set size and duration; encryption, set AES 128 or AES 256; retention, set cleanup hours and disk space recovery. Settings are managed separately for each recorder by logging into the central server via the Management Console. Here is a quick overview of the Server External Database option. External databases recommended when there is a need to keep larger amounts of information for much longer periods of time. The built-in SQLite database is designed for low to medium loads. External databases are recommended for high and extra high loads. Here is a quick overview of the Server NTP option. NTP server. CORTROL servers use the local machine time. Provides an opportunity to sync time with a specified NTP server. The time server is applied to the underlying OS settings. In future training videos, we will dive deeper into the sections and functionality of the CORTROL Global Recording Server. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact GAN's support by emailing support@cbcamerica.com or call 919-230-8700, and a CORTROL specialist will be happy to assist.